In 2025, Meghan Sussex is likely most known for being an incredible philanthropist, a businesswoman, a producer, award-winning podcast host, TV series host, style icon, a loving wife, a doting mother, the highest educated and most independently wealthy member of the British royal family, the only Black biracial member of the British royal family, a legal defendant's worst nightmare in court, she's never lost a case, and much more. But something we rarely talk about, and we should, is the fact that Meghan was an incredible and successful actress. Well, I can tell you who didn't forget: Vogue. They created a list of all of Meghan's film and television roles, and they ranked them all. I cannot wait to get into this list. It actually reminds me when we used to do the Royal Review, where we would look at a project that Meghan starred in, and we would recap it and review it and share our feelings on it. It was so much fun, and it looks like Emma Spector at Vogue just added a lot more projects to my list, so it looks like we're about to revamp the Royal Reviews. All that and more, so let's get started. Hey y'all, thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel, and to those of you who are members, thank you so much for your support. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a Vogue list of a definitive ranking of all of Meghan Sussex's film and television roles, and they have quite a few projects on this list. Believe it or not, some of them I didn't even know about. So I have a whole lot of homework cut out for me over the weekend, and I cannot wait. This is going to be quite a fun assignment. But before we get into this list, if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you would like, and don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, this list is in Vogue. It's written by Emma Spector, and it's titled A Definitive Ranking of All of Meghan Sussex's Film and Television Roles. Yes, I did send an email for them to update the name in that title. Meghan Sussex is so back on the big screen, or she will be at least. The Duchess of Sussex just wrapped her cameo in the forthcoming Amazon MGM Studios film Close Personal Friends, starring Brie Larson, Lily Collins, Jack Quaid, and Henry Golding. While I personally long for Meghan's return to the TIG, no shade here, I genuinely love lifestyle content, and I think she had a knack for it. I'm also stoked about seeing her act again, not least because it gives me the perfect opportunity to do the only kind of qualitative analysis that I'm remotely qualified for and rank quite literally every role on Meghan's IMDb page. Let's run through them, shall we? Now I want to pause, Emma Spector. I love lifestyle content too, and I think Meghan's The TIG was amazing. You can still find the archived version online, but also if you missed The TIG, check out With Love Meghan on Netflix. So they're starting with number 30. There are 30 entries, to this list. First is 30, Tatiana and Get Him to the Greek. This is from 2010. It says, no offense to Meghan's performance in this film, which was uncredited and simply involved her making out with one of the male protagonists, but I'm ranking it lowest largely because it stars Diddy, Russell Brand, and Jonah Hill. A real salon de consoles, if you will. I'm going to just move on because I don't know French. But one thing I will say is, I get the reason and I agree, but also that has nothing to do with Meghan. She didn't cast the movie. But anyway, yeah, I've actually never seen Get Him to the Greek. So because of this list, I took a look at the preview. And when I saw the cast, I was like, ooh, this is a sign of the times. This is all the way back in 2010. This is before any of these men were involved in any scandal whatsoever. So there was no way for anyone to know. This is just one of those things that's a sign of the times. And as time went on, we learned who these people were, but that has nothing to do with Meghan. I actually have never seen Get Him to the Greek, and I could not find a cut scene with her in it outside of buying the movie, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But when the movie becomes free on Netflix, I will take a look and see if I can find Meghan, and I will share that clip with you guys here. Number 29 is Susan on The War at Home. This is starring Michael Rapaport. I did not know Michael Rapaport had a show, and thanks to Meghan, now I do. It says, I'm relegating this one to second place on similar grounds to Get Him to the Greek. It's a Michael Rapaport vehicle, enough said. Again, that's not Meghan's fault, but I totally get you. Still nothing to do with Meghan's significantly meatier 4-minute cameo, though, in which she actually speaks and does a convincing impression of someone who is attracted to Rapaport. Hey, she is an actress. She's a great actress. And if you didn't believe it before, when you see her performance in this, you will believe it then. I actually watched this entire episode after seeing this clip, and it was very funny. I don't know that I've ever laughed at anything Michael Rappaport has ever said. So Meghan not only did a great job in this clip or in this episode, she actually made Michael Rappaport funny. So anyway, here are a couple of the moments from this episode. Have you guys ever seen The War at Home starring Michael Rappaport? And if so, did you ever see this episode? I have to be honest, this is a bit of a different type of role for Meghan, and it worked. She did a wonderful job. She was very funny in this role. And on Suits, we get to see her more in like a dramedy, and she's really good in Suits. There were some comedic moments, but we don't get as many comedic moments with Meghan as I would like. This is a moment where her comedic timing shined through. She is freaking hilarious. First of all, there are scenes where I won't give it all away in case you haven't seen this episode, but there are scenes in this episode where she's showing a significant attraction to Michael Rappaport, or at least this is from his perspective. So he thinks she's attracted to him. And then there's his colleague who is a very different person. And anytime his colleague says anything to Meghan, she's like super friendly with Michael Rappaport. And then his colleague will be like, actually, Susan, she plays a woman named Susan. He's like, Susan, could you? And she's like, yeah, I got you. She's like, she completely dismisses. It is so freaking funny. Here are a couple of clips from that episode.
Don't forget, the top salesperson is going to Hawaii on us. It may as well be you.
How you doing?
I'm good. You're,
Gold. Dave Gold.
So do you have any questions about our incentive program? Gold, Dave Gold.
I actually have a question.
Yeah, it's all in here.
The day's work, sweetie.
Uh-huh. Who are you thinking about, Dave? You're still thinking about her, aren't you?
I'd like to fix you up with my mother. This is my mother, Rebecca.
You're the mother?
The Duchess of Sussex is not only a great actress, she can revive people's talents, considering I never laughed at anything Michael Rappaport said. And in this episode, I was actually chuckling the whole time. They acted well together. They definitely bounced off of one another really, really well. And I thought that was a really cool episode. I've never seen the show in general. I might actually check out a couple of more episodes on YouTube. I'm not guaranteeing anything because, again, it is Michael Rappaport. But I was thoroughly impressed with his performance in this episode. It was actually very funny. So what did y'all think of those clips? Have you seen the full episode? And what did you think? Also, if you've seen the show before, what are your thoughts on the show? Next on the list at number 28 is Corey on Cuts from 2005. Now, I actually used to love Cuts. I could not find this episode anywhere. It says, I can't find any streaming evidence of Meghan on this 2005 UPN sitcom, so I'm forced to slot it into third place, alas. Yeah, I used to watch Cuts. It's a spinoff of one of my favorite shows of all time, starring Flex Alexander and Kyla Pratt. I cannot believe I forgot that. Kyla Pratt. And they had a lot of amazing actors and actresses in that show, but it was a spinoff of One-on-One, and I loved One-on-One, and I used to love Cuts. It had Marcus Houston in it. It had a lot of really great people in there. So I'm not surprised that Meghan was one of the casts on one of the episodes. I'm not surprised at all. They had a lot of really funny people there. But I'm so disappointed that I could not find this episode. Again, I'm on my deep dive this weekend, and I will definitely look for that. Number 27 was Gwen in Deceit. Never seen the movie Deceit. It says, ditto. Does this TV movie actually exist? IMDb says yes, but I can't find proof of Meghan's performance in it anyway. I'm going to assume it was great. Also, this is all the way from, again, 2005 and 2006. It's likely we're not going to find much streaming evidence of that unless it was like a really big deal show or movie. It's pretty hard to find some of the older shows and movies that really weren't like super huge or super popular or didn't get a lot of seasons on streaming devices today. It's very difficult. Number 26, she played Student Sitting on Stage in Married with Children. Now, this is actually not a clip of that. It seems like it is, but it's not. And if you guys remember, her dad was a lighting director on Married with Children, and she had been on, I think, maybe 2 episodes of that show. It says, again, this is an uncredited role, so it's hard to rank it any higher than this, but good for young Meg for getting cast on this hit series. Back in the 90s, she was on a very famous TV show, if you will. Absolutely. Now, number 25, this actually dominated my morning today. When I was going through this list, trying to find clips or pictures or anything from each of these entries, I actually ended up watching this entire movie. So she played the cast member, or excuse me, she played the role, Kristen, in the movie Antisocial from 2015. Now, there is an Antisocial series that is like a horror series. That is not it. This is actually on Tubi, and it is free right now. And for those of you who are watching this video on Patreon, not only are you getting a longer version of this video with more clips, because I can't really post all of that on YouTube, but I can post it on Patreon. So you guys are getting a more thorough video, this version of this video, but also in the description box for those of you on Patreon, there is a link to watch this movie for free, and you can stream it for free. You don't have to create a Tubi account. Anyway, I watched this whole movie. It's good. It's really good. I am actually surprised I've never heard of this. Now, some of the TV shows, I can understand why those flew below my radar, especially since most of them aren't streaming anymore. But this movie is very much streaming, and it is actually a very good movie. I'm not going to give it away. But when I tell you they had me biting my nails at the end, oh my gosh, I love a good suspenseful movie. Now, obviously she plays the good girl in the movie. She is dating the main character, and she's essentially playing the role of the moral compass. I absolutely love her role in this movie. She's kind of a breath of fresh air, because the rest of the movie is kind of like these people are in a group that performs heists, and the main character is trying to find a way out, but he's entangled in it because he has family and friends in this group, and he wants to remain loyal to them. But his girlfriend, who's got her own successful career in acting, she's like, you can do better. Oh no, she's modeling. She's like, you can do better. You can do so much more for yourself. Do not let them hold you back. And so the whole movie is essentially him weighing the pros and cons, but also kind of teetering on that line. And the whole movie, every decision, you kind of see where he's leaning towards in each moment. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, just go with your girlfriend. She's royalty. We didn't know that then, okay? But anyway, this is what the synopsis says, or excuse me, the summary says. It says, we love to see Meghan high up on the call sheet where she belongs. I know that's right, Emma. But even that couldn't save this frankly awful movie. Oh, me and Emma are going to have to agree to disagree. Meg dating a rakish Brit, foreshadowing though. I don't know what rakish means, but it doesn't sound like a compliment. Anyway, yeah, she does date a British man. And in the movie, he asks her to move to the UK. Now, they eventually, I think they end up going to Germany. But at one point, he does ask her to move. I believe he asked her to move to London. And she's thinking about it. And she's like, move to London? And he's like, yeah, could you move to London with me? And she has to really think about it. And why was I over here cracking up like, girl, you may as well. You're going to end up there anyway. I can see the future. But don't go with this guy. Wait for the redhead. Anyway, have you guys seen this movie? It is very good. Here are a couple of clips from that. Again, YouTube, you can only have so many because obviously YouTube will beat me up if I show too much. But for those of you on Patreon, you get a lot. Let's go.
How's that one? Good?
Yeah, he said he likes what I do and he wants me to be the British representative for the show. Would you move there with me?
You inspire me.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No, you're doing something with your life. And I want you to know that I'm by your side.
During an extended car pursuit, the robbers were cornered by officers and opened fire. And we are now hunting a fourth suspect, believed to have escaped on a motorcycle with the stolen goods.
One day, when you're ready, I think you owe me an explanation.
Also, I forgot to mention, but he wasn't in any of the clips that I just shared, but Skepta is also in this movie. So this was clearly intended to be a pretty big deal movie. I don't know why the person's summary said it wasn't good. I actually really enjoyed it, but I also like movies that offer suspense, and I like Meghan. So it kind of offered up a couple of things that were pretty sure to get me to like it. Did y'all see Antisocial in 2015? And if so, what did you think? Number 24 on the list is Teresa Santos on Love, Inc. It says, yet another cute girl role for Meghan. This one is an MTA employee, but she doesn't bring quite as much aplomb to it as she does to other examples of the same trope. All right, well, I guess that's Emma's opinion. Number 23, Sadie Valencia in Good Behavior. Meh. That's all I have to say about Meghan in this crime matriarch goes straight TV movie. Just meh. Now, Emma is veering into Haterville. Number 22, Dana in The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down. I have heard of this, but I've never seen it. Have y'all heard of this? It says, I really wish I had video evidence of Meghan as Dana in this odd little TV movie, but trust me, it's truly too weird to be believed and not necessarily in a good way. Again, seems like Emma's just taking a turn to Haterville, but also this could just be a testament to the types of projects. When you are working your way up, you kind of have to take a lot of interesting projects to build your resume and to get experience and to make connections and networks. So I'm not surprised there are a couple of like one-offs or a few one-offs on her resume. Every single actor can say the same. Have you ever been watching like an old movie or show and you're like, oh my God, that's such and such? I have done that maybe 25 times with Unsolved Mysteries and with Golden Girls. Like they had everybody. Also with Living Single. They had everybody in those old shows and movies. I remember seeing Matthew McConaughey play a person who got shot in his front yard while he was mowing the lawn. I think it was by a neighbor. And he really performed his butt off in that Unsolved Mysteries episode. Like it was actually heartbreaking. And it was like, oh my God. Like Matthew was really giving it for this little episode, but he did. And I'm not surprised. You can see people really paying their dues in some of those old shows and movies. And I'm not mad at it. You have to do what you have to do to build your resume. And I actually think it makes you, I think it makes people respect you a lot more when they can see your journey. Number 21 says Kelly Calhoun in The Apostles, 2008. Never heard of it. Another no thanks TV movie about cops. Wow, uncharted territory, but at least Meghan gets more to do in it than she did in The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down. Seems like maybe Emma doesn't like TV movies. That is where Emma and I have to part. I love a good TV movie, and you can blame my grandmother for that because every Sunday she was streaming Lifetime movies. She was playing Lifetime movies all day long, back to back to back. And I was seated for each and every one of them. I would have to say some of my favorite ones are from that era of 1986, 1988 to 1993, because keep in mind, they continue to replay the same ones over and over and over. And so in the late 90s, I was watching some of the older movies, and that little era, like the 86 to 93, 94 era, the best Lifetime movies ever. Argue with someone else. She Fought Alone. Like, oh my goodness, I could just name a bunch. There were so many epic Lifetime movies. But anyway, Lifetime created my love of TV movies. So I think Emma and I just have that different because I love a good TV movie. Number 20, Terry and Dysfunctional Friends. This is from 2012. Oh, wow. I've never heard of Dysfunctional Friends, but I'll see if I can go back and find this one. Once more, no tape to roll, but Meghan is criminally underused in this Stacey Dash-led film. She does her best, though. Oh, no, Meghan had to do a movie with Stacey Dash? She should be awarded some form of compensation for having to hang around that hoot. Anyway, I genuinely dislike Stacey Dash. I didn't always. She was so amazing when she was younger. And then as she got older, she started to veer into some interesting spaces. And I think they rotted her brain. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Meghan. I'm going to look for that. Number 19, Kat in The Candidate. Oh, wow. I didn't know she was in The Candidate. Every actor legally has to do at least a few short films for the sake of their capital A art. And as this cameo proves, Meghan is no exception. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. Have y'all seen The Candidate? Number 18, Tara in Till Death, 2008. Meghan deserved better than this mid-aughts sitcom, not to be confused with a mid-aughts sitcom. Okay. But she did reasonably well with her role as a car salesperson. Oh, that's cool. I would love to see her in that role. Number 17, Holly Shepherd on Without a Trace. Now, Without a Trace was my show. I love Without a Trace. Wait, is this the movie or the show? Let's see. We love Meghan on a procedural, don't we? Folks, even if it's just for an episode. Okay, so this is the show. Yeah, I loved Without a Trace. I love all those shows though, like Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, Without a Trace, Any Day Now. Like, I don't know what it is about those shows, but I just kind of like that era of TV. That's just me though. Number 16, Officer Leah Montoya on CSI Miami. I feel like every great actor or actress has had a CSI moment. It says, blink and you'll miss Meghan, but there she is in the middle of a raging fire. Well, somebody get her out. Don't let Miss Meghan burn now. Number 15, Veronica Perez on CSI New York. Elsewhere in the CSI verse, Meghan briefly plays a maid with a secret. It's more territory than she would later get on CSI Miami, and she makes good use of it. Okay, so there have been a number of roles. I know she played in this one Snow White episode of some crime show, and we actually reviewed that on one of our royal reviews. Oh, it's next. Charlotte on Castle. So anyway, we'll get to it, but she is really good with those mystery roles. I actually kind of like her in those bad guy roles. And I think it's because as I followed her career and as I've just kind of followed her business, her work, just her public persona for so many years now, she is like an actual good person in real life. So seeing her in those bad guy roles, it actually is a testament to her acting prowess, but also it's just really fun. There's a couple of movies that she's done. Not When Sparks Fly. There's this other movie that she did where she was playing a hot girl in a hot girl summer, and I reviewed it for a royal review. But when I tell you, she had me laughing, and the comments on that royal review were also equally funny. During that live stream or live premiere, when we were recapping it together, we were cutting up because Meghan was showing out in that movie. If y'all remember that was like 3 years ago. If y'all remember that, please let me know in the comment section. But anyway, yeah, I like her as kind of the bad guy in some of these projects. I'm not gonna lie. Number 14, Charlotte on The Castle from 2012. Future Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle on a show named Castle. LOL. Okay, puns aside, Meghan actually gets to flex her range here while embodying an innocent seeming killer. Yes, and I actually didn't see it coming. I'm not gonna lie. They actually fooled me. Number 13, junior FBI agent Amy Jessup on Fringe. Say it with me, 2-episode procedural arc. Actually, I really liked her in this, and she plays opposite. Y'all remember Pacey from Dawson's Creek? He's in this too, but she plays opposite him, and I actually got wrapped up. I watched the whole episode of this while I was trying to research all of these, and he was so rude to her. I was getting irritated with Pacey for real. I was like, okay, girl, this is a movie. You need to calm down. Don't act like a troll now. Here's a couple of clips from that episode.
Hi, this is my father, Walter.
Yes, I have a couple questions for
How
you.
bad is she?
We don't know.
Excuse me? How do you not know?
Can you just explain exactly what you do?
Look, you still haven't told me what it is you do.
You, Agent Dunham, your father. I checked with the field office. He said that all of your work is
Classified.
See what I mean when I said he was getting on my nerves? He just kept cutting my girl off. Anyway, that was actually a good spot. It was really cool to see her as part of the FBI, especially when I had consecutively seen her as like the girlfriend role or the wife role or like the hot girl role, like these very just like archetypal roles, like just the good girl, the hot girl, etc. And then to see her as like a serious FBI agent. Again, it's one of those moments where I really, really like to see her in because it's so different from what she is. She's not like this FBI agent, this straight to the facts, blah, 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 this hard hitter. She's just a very soft and warm person. So to see her act in that role is actually a lot of fun. So the next one, number 12, Mindy and Random Encounters from 2013. This is what I was talking about when I said Meghan was the hot girl. She was having a good time in this movie. Every time you saw her character, she was headed to or headed from a date with a different guy. And it's actually very funny. It's played for laughs. And again, this is one of those moments where you can truly see her comedic timing shine through. She's very good in this. If you have not seen my recap of this, my royal review, feel free to check that out. I will also link it below in the comments, in the sources section of the description box. It says, kind of a fun little rom-com. This was actually a very fun rom-com. The only problem I have with it, Meghan should have been the lead. No offense to the lead. She was so good, but I'm not even going to lie to you. The person who played the lead, while she was really good, she would have been the perfect best friend role, and Meghan would have absolutely been the perfect lead. And then Meghan did two other rom-coms one called The Dater's Handbook or The Dating Handbook, and the other was When Sparks Fly. And she was the lead in those rom-coms, and she absolutely delivered. She nailed it. She just gets all those very subtle rom-com cues, like just kind of playing up like the innocence of it all, the romance of it all. She manages to really harness that wistful energy really well, and she has comedic timing. So she makes the perfect rom-com lead. And then the lead in this movie, she would have made a wonderful best friend just because of her demeanor and her acting style. I thought she would have been a really good best friend of. So I think if they had swapped those roles, this would have been a much bigger movie. Anyway, it says a kind of a fun little rom-com in a still fairly terrible way. Obviously, this is, again, I think this is a TV movie. So y'all have kind of seeing a pattern here that gives Meghan another far more robust chance to draw from her own Angelino upbringing as a LA party girl, Mindy. Now that is true. She was absolutely a party girl, and she was really good as the party girl. Number 11, Annie Ortiz on Knight Rider. I didn't know she was on Knight Rider. It says the Duchess of Sussex as an underground cage fighter whose PC ponytail doesn't distract her from kicking ass. Hell yes. I mean, I can second you on that. That sounds really good. That actually sounds right up my alley. I can't believe I haven't seen this before.
It's also one of the fastest growing internet sites on the web.
So it's like boxing.
It's more hardcore than boxing.
If anyone should be taking care of this, it's me.
I don't think so.
I do. Mike, the Sarge saved my life. He said, you can do it. Don't give up. He made me who I am, Mike. I owe him. Just figure something out about Sarge?
Penny, we gotta get away from this guy now.
It was him?
Penny.
That full episode is currently available on Patreon, so feel free to check that out. It is 45 minutes, so obviously I couldn't play the whole thing within this video or we would be here all day, but the full episode is available uninterrupted over on Patreon if you want to read that, or excuse me, if you want to watch that. She was actually really good in that. I also love seeing her, again, as a fighter. It's kind of different than what we've seen her in. Now, she did get her lung collapsed in a cage match against a guy. First of all, Meghan, I'm going to need you to put a blade in your bra strap or under your tongue or something. If you're going to be in a cage match with a man, I'm going to need you to do some slicing and dicing. For those of you who've ever played Mortal Kombat, I'm going to need you to go full Baraka on him, but that's just me. Anyway, this is a really good episode. I ended up watching the whole thing. That's why it's on Patreon now, because I was like, more people need to see this. I can't believe I didn't know this existed, but I like Knight Rider. Now, I'm a fan of the first Knight Rider. I used to watch all those shows, Knight Rider. What else? The original Knight Rider, Texas Ranger. Like, my grandfather used to love those kinds of shows. And so he used to have me posted up watching those during the summer. Number 10, Amy Peterson in When Sparks Fly. Now, there is currently a royal review available, me summarizing and recapping this movie. It is very good. It is one of those rom-coms that I said Meghan was really, really good as the lead in it. So I highly recommend. And it is very much a holiday rom-com by way of 4th of July. And you don't see that often. You rarely get 4th of July rom-coms, but this one is one of them. And I actually watch it every summer on the 4th of July. It's really good. It says, as a big city journalist looking for love, how could I not love this movie about a big city journalist looking for love? Oh, well, good luck, Emma. My only quibble is that no working professional in recorded history has ever gone home for the 4th of July. Now, maybe that's because Emma is from somewhere else, but maybe it's just me, but we all go home for the 4th of July where I'm from. Like, that's like a big holiday for us. We do a big cookout. We light fireworks. We have a really good time. And it's like a 3-day thing for me and my family. So that might just be a me thing. I don't know. But yeah, we used to get Mount Pleasant lit on the 4th of July, but that's us. Did y'all celebrate 4th of July like that? Let me know. Number 9, Jill on General Hospital. It says, very believable, overworked nurse performance, in my opinion. Support your local hospital workers labor union. Okay, shout out. I like that, Emma. And I'm sure Meghan would approve. Number 8, Jamie in Horrible Bosses. Now, I have seen this referenced a couple of times, and I've even shared this clip a couple of times on here. It says, I distinctly remember walking out of this movie when I saw it in theaters, but that's certainly not Meghan's fault. Extra points for the cute little FedEx baseball cap. No, she was actually really good at this, but I'm a little surprised that this person walked out of Horrible Bosses. Now, if she said she walked out of Horrible Bosses 2, I'm right there with you, but Horrible Bosses is hilarious. Did I miss something? 2011. I haven't seen it in a really long time. And I will say this, most of these 2010s comedies are kind of raunchy, and they're raunchier when you rewatch them from today's viewpoint. So if she walked out, there was probably a reason why that I'm not remembering. Also, when you think about the cast, I can definitely see a couple of reasons why she might have walked out. So I'm going to rewatch that and see if I can figure out why she left. But Horrible Bosses is hilarious. Number 6, Natasha on Century City. Sorry, did this show's episode featuring a holographic virtual assistant effectively predict AI in 2004? Okay, Meghan the text genius. I'm ranking it fairly high for that detail alone, despite the fact that Meghan only has one line. But it was actually a pretty big moment. Let's take a look.
Wow.
Here's to Tom Montero, who had the vision to install this amazing virtual assistant.
Okay, I installed her first.
Jolly good fellow, or he's a jolly good fellow.
Also in this episode was none other than Viola Davis. That's exactly what I mean when I say, if you watch these old shows and movies and TV movies and whatnot, you will see people building their resumes, paying their dues, building their skill, and expanding their network. It's so fun to go back and watch these. Also, both ladies looked amazing, but I had no idea they even had a project together. It's just so interesting to see how that worked out, and look at both of them just dominating in their fields. And this is number 5, Hot Girl in A Lot Like Love. And she started in a really quick scene from Ashton Kutcher in an airport. And it says, not a lot of lines and no character name to speak of. But you know what? She ate that. Actually, she played the hot girl, and she's supposed to be inadvertently like enticing the main character who's trying to go straight and narrow and not be a womanizer. From my understanding, that's the clip. Number 4, Meghan on The League. I've actually never heard of The League, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but it says, okay, I'm definitely being influenced by my fondness for this FX show, but Meghan playing a Meghan, even if it's for less than a minute long appearance, we love cinema verite. Now that's funny. I've never heard of it, but it sounds interesting. Have you guys heard of The League? Let me know. Now, this one surprised me because I've seen Remember Me. When I went back and checked out this clip, I was like, there she is. And if you missed her, they scream her name. Number 3, bartender in Remember Me. Another instance of Meghan playing a Meghan. Also another instance of her not being given too much to work with, but her pissed off bartender's delivery of do not speak to an annoying patron is genuinely funny. Yes, I actually laughed quite loudly out loud.
Meghan! Hey! Wow, you look great.
Do not speak.
Yeah, that's how people act when they're really into you.
So now we're coming down to number 2. And this person ranked Rachel Zane on Suits as her second best performance. I genuinely thought she was going to rank this her number 1 because it is her most iconic, but nope, it is her second best. She says, I mean, duh, this is objectively Meghan's biggest role, but also a partial or complete Suits rewatch kind of goes crazy, especially when you're hungover on a Sunday afternoon. But I'm going to need her to explain why this is second and not number 1. And of course, number 1 is Meghan's role as Cass in Dater's Handbook. Again, this was a recap. This was a recap on my royal review of this whole movie. Meghan was excellent in it. She is the lead. This is a rom-com and it is very good. She says, you know what? Justice for Hallmark movies in general, but this one in which Meghan plays a successful businesswoman who tries to use a popular dating field guide to revive her flop of a personal life in particular. This is actually a really, really good movie. I love that they build the relationship slowly. She does use the Dater's Handbook, but I think she realizes she doesn't really need it. Chemistry was all there. Anyway, this was a very good movie in general, not just because Meghan was in it, but she was excellent in this film. And she had 2 really handsome leading men. This was probably a very fun project to work on. Anyway, she did a wonderful job in this. Have you guys seen The Dater's Handbook? If you have not seen my recap of it in the royal review, please feel free to let me know. Now that we have gotten to the end of this list, that doesn't mean we're done. Because something that I have talked about, I have actually shared all of these episodes over on Patreon if you want to go check them out in full. They were hard to find. So anytime I have to, use a little elbow grease to find anything, I go ahead and upload it to Patreon so patrons don't have to go look for it like I did. And you can always have access. It's an excellent archive as well. But anyway, she actually had her own short series. I'm not sure if it was a limited series, I believe, with USA. While she was working on Suits, she had her own limited series called Power Lunch with Meghan, where she worked with chefs and she went to different iconic restaurants throughout New York City and talked about their signature dishes, their restaurant, etc. And you could see her help them, and they would teach her how to make some of their dishes, and then they would sit down and eat afterwards. And sometimes she would invite cast members from Suits, as well as people who were behind the scenes on Suits. Very good show. Very entertaining. I was so disappointed that they didn't have more episodes, but it makes sense that she ended up doing With Love Meghan in the format that she did, because it is very similar when it comes to the food aspect of With Love Meghan. So if you have never seen Power Lunch with Meghan from USA, all of those episodes are available now on Patreon. Feel free to go check those out. But here is a short clip.
When it comes to food, I live for the moments of discovery. It's a drive that takes me to amazing places, like when I go to one of my favorite power lunch spots to taste a new dish.
Hey, Meghan.
And then get to learn how it's made.
This is Lunch, Elevated. Suits, all new episodes Wednesdays on USA, presented by Lexus and the reimagined RX. And go to usanetwork.com for more exclusive videos of Meghan's culinary adventures.
Thank you so much for watching the SharionSade YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching my content. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment along the way. If you feel so inclined, please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Now let's get back to the video. Meghan's cameo has everyone super excited to see her on the screen again, but also we're all revisiting her old projects from TV shows to movies, etc. It's really great to revisit that time in her life. She was really good. She definitely had a knack for it, immense talent, and she clearly loved what she did. And it's great to see that her life has continued to evolve and unfold, and she's been able to lean into other areas of interest and things that bring her joy. I feel like that's the epitome of a well-rounded life. You get to do the things that really bring you joy, and you don't have to get pigeonholed into one area. She never had to be just an actress or just a philanthropist or just a wife and mom. She can actually be anything she wants to be, and she definitely lives that every day. I think that's a really inspirational way to take a look at it, and it's something that I feel like we should all try to strive for in our own lives. I think it's important to remember that one area of interest doesn't have to occupy every space of your life. So it's really cool to see her as an actress again. It's really great to revisit that. If you guys have not familiarized yourself with the Royal Review to see my take on her projects, feel free to take a look at my recaps. I actually feel like I might need to redo some of those because, yeah, I have come a long way with my editing and my production skills since then. So some of those videos might be a little grainy, might be horribly edited, and just poorly produced and all. So thank you for riding with me all this time. We've come so far. We still have a long way to go as far as quality, but for some of the worst ones, I might redo them. Y'all let me know if there's anything in particular you think I should redo from the Royal Review. I might just do that upon request. But anyway, for those of you on Patreon, feel free to check out the full episodes of Power Lunch with Meghan, as well as the full episode of Knight Rider. And the link to, is it not Action Packed? Antisocial, the 2015 movie that she starred in, along with Skepta. But anyway, feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on this list. How would you rank these projects? I like them all. And I understood her reasoning behind ranking them the way she did, but I would always put Rachel Zane first, and I would then followed quickly by all of her rom-coms. I absolutely love Meghan in the rom-coms. I think it's just perfect for her. But that's my opinion. And that's the cool thing about lists like this. They're never going to be right or wrong. It's just an easy way for us to get to know, what are your interests? What do you like? What do you lean towards? And what do you get out of her acting? Like, what is your favorite parts about seeing Meghan on screen? Let me know. Also, did you guys know about most of these? I have to give Emma her props. I had no idea about some of these, and I would consider myself well-researched when it came to Meghan's projects. I have gone down her IMDb list a number of times. Some of these must have been added recently, but also many of these have eluded me. So this was actually a lot of fun going and finding these movies and these shows and kind of revisiting them or visiting them for the first time. That was a good time. I enjoy lists like this. I'm also pretty surprised that a list in Vogue wasn't about Meghan's style. I mean, again, like I said, you can't pigeonhole her. She's stylish. She has talent. She's a good person. She's a businesswoman. I mean, we could be here all day. So anyway, you guys let me know what your thoughts are on this list. For those of you on Patreon, feel free to check out those full episodes that I mentioned. I hope you enjoy those. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share so that more people can find us. I also have to say, for those of you on Instagram, you already know this, but congratulations to Kelly McKee Zappin, who announced that she is expecting a baby boy. Why did I shed tears when I saw that? I do not know that lady in real life, but I have followed her story. She's with the Alliance of Children's Rights, and we actually purchased the tote from one of her campaigns a couple of years ago. And I did a whole video about Alliance of Children's Rights and her work and her family and the tragedy that she experienced by losing a child, specifically one of her twins, her son. And she does every day on Instagram. If you have an Instagram, I highly recommend following her. She does every day or every couple of days, she'll post a sunset with Georgie. Georgie was her son. And she'll post like a saying or a little quote or something like that that reminds her of him, and she just shares that moment with her followers. I think it's just really sweet. I love when people bring substance and joy and love to their social media. I love filling up my social media with that kind of stuff. So I love that she lets us in that way. So if you have an Instagram, I highly recommend following her. But again, she announced that she is expecting a baby boy. Everything about that just filled me with so much joy for her. I literally was about to shed a tear. That is just so beautiful. Congratulations to her and her family. May they have an amazing experience, and that baby is going to be born into nothing but love and very loving aunts and uncles. Anyway, that is all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.